A little bit ago, I had a video where I talked about some of my hot takes with Project Sekai, and in that I asked for you all to share your hot takes so I could read and discuss those, which is what this video is. Yippee! There were many, many comments, and I appreciate every single one of them. However, I could not go over all of them, so here I have whittled down the top 15 best for discussion hot takes from you all. I appreciate all of you for offering your hot takes anyway, and I hope you enjoy the video. This is from Ninja Fox 1142. Hot take. I simply have no desire to pull for birthday cards. I'd much rather have a chance to pull something new for all characters rather than just one. Fascinating. A fascinating reason for the hot take. I agree, but for a different reason. You don't get an outfit, you don't get hair, you just get the card. And so unless you're like a super fan of a character, there's kind of no reason to pull for the birthday cards unless they're really, really cool. And the thing is, they are not. Let's take a gander at the one character who I do have a birthday card for. I have one Akito birthday card. And I do like it a lot. It was the first one. The first birthdays had this nice flower aesthetic for all the cards. And look at that, nice lighting, especially early on in the game's lifetime. This is excellent, you know, that's a swell card to add to your collection. But in every following year, they've been way worse. This was the next year, where they all had these, like, pretty flat, kind of vibes, like they're paper cutouts, and it's cute. It's a cute outfit he's in, and it's nice that they all have stuff that they like around them. So, for example, you know, he's got his fancy running shoes, and he likes sweets, so, you know, and they all have personalized cake. But, it just did not hit as hard as the first year, and then they've only been like that moving forward. His next, I think this is a birthday card, yeah, his next one, they were again in this like cute pop art style, which is nice, but it's so nothing special. Oh, he likes pancakes. What is him in a school uniform eating pancakes. And then this latest year we've returned to like bloom lighting, but now it just looks like everyone's dead. Hanging out with Fenny, I like seeing all the different colors of Fenny. I can't believe I can't purchase a Fenny. And it's just, so that's why I think there's no reason to pull for birthday cards, because they suck. Poor Sherika Fort. Let the boys wear feminine clothing. Yeah, I agree. Why not? Fuck it. I think it'd be fun. Next up, we've got Lind the Vocaloid nerd. Hot take. I hate when a song has a virtual singer by Krypton, but they use a different one for some reason. For example, Bug, they could have just used Meiku like in the original, but instead they used Len. I am going to disagree. I think this is the first hot take where I disagree. Wow, I understand where you're coming from, but you'll notice that I think if it's not 100% of the time, it's like 95% of the time, that original, like, Vocaloid is Meiku. A lot of people use Meiku. Most people use Meiku. And having one of the different Vocaloids for the in-game cover, for example, having Len in Bug, we don't get as many Len songs. We don't get as many songs for any of the other virtual singers. If we did just use the original all the time, it would be Meiku, 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 Meiku all the time. And we already have way more Meiku anyway. So this just helps kind of mitigate that. It's also, I think it's fun hearing I like hearing covers for Vocaloid songs. It's nice. I think it's nice. And you always have the original one you can take a listen to as well. So yeah, I'm gonna disagree, but I appreciate the opinion. It's a good take. I like this take. This is a good one. From I'm Waiting for the Sun. Hot take, I never understood the Mizu-Enna dynamic and plot anyway, because, like, wouldn't have Enna found out about Mizuki's secret because they go to the same school? So, like, I don't know. I don't really read the story, but the plot sounds iffy to me. So the short answer is, Enna doesn't know, so that the story can fucking happen. You have to have a little bit of suspension of disbelief, sometimes, for a narrative to occur. If Enna already knew, then a different story would happen. This is the story they wanted to tell, of a secret. So that's why. But at a more grand scale, okay, so you can get behind the fact that these kids get to transport to a magical world in their phones where they hang out with Vocaloids. And you can get behind the idea that, you know, all these kids, you know, all these members of Night Court didn't know that they not only live within walking distance of each other, all 4 of them, but that multiple of them go to the same school. So you can get behind that. But you can't get behind the idea that the character who barely goes to school and the character who only goes to night school didn't know everything about each other. like, I don't know about you, but I wasn't in the business of everyone at school, and I went to a small one. And you're not the only one who had this hot take. I used you because you worded it the best. But yeah, this is the least stretch I think this narrative takes. And yeah, it really does come back to the main point of, well, what, shouldn't Enna know? No, because then the story wouldn't get to happen. And so I'm gonna disagree. Next up, from Egg D Head. My hot takes. I hate with burning passion the tiny notes. They suck. I hate them. I like the tiny notes, personally. But it's mostly because they always go by so fast. I play at like 10.4 or something as my speed. And so every time they happen, I'm like, was that note tiny? Like, this is from Sung Yuli. Hot take. On 4 greater than Mizu 5. So I have no thoughts on this hot take. Neutral, I suppose. The reason why I included it is because I don't fucking know what this means. So obviously I know that this is referring to their focus event. On's 4th focused event is better than Mizuki's 5th focus event. I know that. And I know Mizu 5 is the one that gave us the song Bake no Hana. Here's the thing. I don't fucking know these events by these names. I need the name of the event. I need a song that came out. I don't know them by... Oh, there's so many comments that's like, On 3 is so much better than On 4. And, oh man, the Tsukasa 6 song is so much better than the Tsukasa 3 and 2 songs, but the Emu 7 song, and I'm like, I don't know them by numbers! I don't know them by these. I don't know your hip lingo and jargon. I need to know that, like this. I don't know what number this is for Enna. I know this as Knowing the Unseen. Knowing the Unseen, that's the name of the event. You can give me the name of the gacha, theoretically, and I might know Drawing Bloom. But more than anything, I recognize events by songs. Watashi wa ame. Tell me that. Tell me which event is on 4, because I don't know. Hot take. You shouldn't have to read stories to buy new songs. I am gonna disagree twofold here. First up, you don't need to read the stories to buy new songs. You can skip them. I hope you all know that you can skip and still get the like song cards. So you can just skip them. And 2, I think most of the stories have been pretty entertaining. Next up, from Austin with a Head. I hate how people hate on Ichika so much. And you know what? I agree. She does get a lot of flack. But, like, she's not really any more boring than any of the team leaders. All the team leaders are pretty lacking, you know, in terms of narrative, which is hilarious. Basically every story actually focuses on the second character a lot more. So Leonid, Ichika's the face, but the story focuses a lot more on Saki. And like Wonderland's, Tsukasa is the leader, but the story focuses more on Emu, Kanade, Mafuyu, etc. And yeah, Ichika does get a lot of hate for being, like, just as interesting as Minori. I agree. I think she's swell. I think people hate on her too much. Next up, Darling Amiya. While I know Ichika is the lead singer, I still dislike how many lines she gets. I understand it makes sense for the lore, but based on that, we also shouldn't have Nigo. I never like this abbreviation. Night Court envies since they post songs online and want to dance, especially with Kanade's lack of condition, so why can we detour from that lore aspect to make them more fun, but not with Leonid, basically. So first of all, That's a bad take. Bad faith argument. Well, Nightcore don't even dance. Yeah, but the song has 3D MVs. They wouldn't just have a group that doesn't have 3D MVs. Have them sitting in chairs. Yeah, like, they're also, like, none of the MVs are canon. No MVs are canon. None of the songs are even technically canon. Like, they'll be like, okay, we made a new song, for a whole event. Like, oh, okay, cool, to help my dad feel better, I made a whole new song. And then we get Kanade Sumosu no Sora. Beautiful song. That's not the song she made. That is not canon. So the MVs are not canon. So that's a bad take. Bad faith take. And moreover, I think Ichika being the lead singer is the only thing that really gives Leonid any kind of personality. Let me explain. So, if you're just listening to all their songs, Nightcore have, you know, a pretty consistent, and same with, like, Wonderlands. They have very consistent kind of themes, with the Nightcore tending to lean darker, scarier, spookier, sadder, and Wonderlands being, you know, the more quirky, fun, off-the-wall, fast-paced songs. Obviously, you know, that's not an absolute. More Jump got Ghost Girl, you know, so. But for the most part, generally speaking, they have these clear aesthetics. More Jump sing idol music, and Vivid Bad Squad raps. And what does Leonid have? Instruments? They all have instruments. Every song has instrumentation. We'll have plenty of guitar and full, like, guitar solos and stuff. And so, visually, Leonids stand out because they hold their instruments. But audio-wise, the only thing they have that differentiates them is having them be structured like a real band. So something like Bump of Chicken or Asian Kung Fu Generation, you know, where there's a lead singer. So personally, and like, I get it, I really like Honami and Shiho's vocalists, and Shiho is significantly, like, one of my top 3 favorite vocalists in the game, so I can super understand, but being upset about this is, I think, missing the point. This is like being upset, like, how come Nightcore, or how come Vivid Bad Squad has to have, you know, so much rapping in their music? Because they rap. Next up, from Ame the Cream Pie, what a fascinating name. I don't like the Tsukasa and Rui King cover. I agree a lot. People, okay, and I don't really like King much in general anyway, but I agree. People acted like the King cover from Rui and Tsukasa was the hottest thing since sliced bread. Like, it's just another King cover. This one's from AlienRon. Cool name. Hot take. Kohane's first design with the long hair and glasses looks better than her current design. So, I agree. I don't necessarily think her original design was better. I really like her short hair. Her long hair very much strikes me as long, but she's not doing anything with it. You know, she's not excited about her hair, and then she cuts it short, and suddenly it's like, this is right. This is correct. But I do agree with the glasses as well. Clearly they can have glasses models. Glasses models look better than most of the hats. But I agree. Having glasses, like a character with glasses, would be awesome. 100% agree. I wish she wore them more. Agree. Next up, from Inkplot, my hot take, adding another unit to the game would make the game too cluttered. And I do agree. There's a lot of talk about adding new units. And I agree. Adding another unit would make it more cluttered. There's already 20 characters. 20 characters, not including the Vocaloids. That's a lot. That's already a lot. I think if they were to add a new group, it would have to correlate to an old group leaving. Wonderlands have decided to stay together forever. Time to bring in a new unit. Oh, cool. Mafuyu's not depressed anymore, and Kanade's dad has woken up. Awesome. They'll keep making music as we shift focus to a new team. That's how I think it would work. Either that or they make a sequel to the game, but they're playing with fire with doing that. Cause, like, there's a lot of resources that they've already dedicated to this game. So, yeah, I don't know. Next up from Mariana Jade. they need to have events or reasoning lore to why the characters never share about their sekais. I agree. So I don't mind that they're like, this has to be a secret, and I'm honestly not even that mad that they haven't explained why. But I agree that it would be nice to, you know, kind of focus on that a little bit more. That's something that, if they want to do something with the story, that's absolutely something. I cannot fathom that the Tenmas don't know about each other's sekais. And it can start small. It can start with, like, you know, Saki and Tsukasa have their phones, like, on the table while they're doing on something. And then a Rin and a Len pop out of each phone being like, hey, I got something to tell you. And then they spot each other and go, aw, shit, and run off. And that establishes that the Vocaloids know that there are other sekais nearby. And that can kind of kickstart a whole plot of everyone slowly learning about each other's sekais. And I wouldn't want them necessarily visiting different sekais, but I think that is a direction the plot could absolutely go if they don't want to keep spinning wheels for forever. Especially for maybe the group leaders. I think that might be nice. Next up, from Superstarry04, I don't know if this would be considered a hot take, but Murmur Jump's music being idol music has also confused me, especially because Project Sekai is considered to be an idol rhythm game, so in that sense, every group could be considered idols. I'm sorry, it's not an idol rhythm game. Nowhere is it marketed as an idol rhythm game. There is no idol management. If you look at, you know, like the Steam page, or like the Wikipedia page, or like nowhere does it call itself an idol rhythm game. It's a rhythm game. This one's from Neorotic. I hope I read that right. I don't like how Sega isn't giving a few specific Miku's new 4 stars. Yes, I get that giving other Vocaloids of the same group is okay, since we do need variety, but come on. Where is Nightcore and Meiku? But I do agree, if you look at Meiku, there's so little going on. Nightcore and Meiku is actually a great example of, like, it's been the Len show over in Nightcore for a while now, and it's just, like, we're not getting a lot of Meiku. I look at these cards a lot, because I'm a loser, and you look for, like, okay, what's, like, the latest cool Vivid Bad Squad Meiku? And yeah, it was from when they surpassed Rad Weekend. And I was like, okay, well, what was the one before that? It was the White Day event. Like, these are so far apart, and of course, you know, it's got spread across all the different characters. Oh, I guess we did recently get a new Meiku with that was a cool event. This had a cool aesthetic. That's a pretty outfit. But you're so right. Like, Meiku doesn't get to play very often, which is it's just weird. I don't know. I agree. Give us more Meiku. Give us more of all the Vocaloids. And those were all the hot takes I've got for you today. I do appreciate everyone's comments, even if you didn't make it into the video, but you know what? I'm pretty dang tired of all this negativity. You know, I've read so many hot takes, and I've shared all my hot takes, and now I want us to share all the takes about how much we like this dang old game. So, share with me some of your just absolute fanboy, fangirl, gushing opinions about Project Sekai. The stuff that makes you go, ooh, I can't wait to play again. I'll start us off. I am in love with the Blooming Fest cards. I'm collecting them. I've given myself the goal. I want to collect all of them, at least all the human kids. And I'm so excited. I'm gonna put the fancy hair on them, and I'm so excited. All the art has also been so stunning. It feels like an actual evolution of the characters. Like, the Colorful Fest cards were pretty, but these ones really feel like they actually have a grasp on the characters now, and are like representing them in their truest form, you know? So I love those. I'm so excited for more. So yeah, share your gushing positive opinions in the comments, and have a good one.